Well, hello confirmation families, and welcome to your video tutorial on the day of confirmation so that you know exactly what to expect and all the other details that you need to be aware of going into this. This video can be shared with family, friends, anybody really attending the service that you think would benefit from these instructions. So let's just start with the time that you're supposed to be here. So confirmation students and families, the first order of business is a group picture that will be taken at 10 a.m. That is half hour before the service starts at 10:30. And again, we are talking about Sunday, October 31st. The service starts at 10:30. We're doing a group picture at 10, which means you need to show up in the parking lot no later than 9:50 a.m. When you do arrive and pull in and you park, of course, you'll get out of your car and you will make your way inside the church. The very first thing that you need to find as you come in is your mask. Why? Well, because Bethlehem follows the CDC guidelines as well as local health officials. And while we are in a high rate of transmission, it is recommended that all people, regardless of vaccination state, that they mask in large groups, and this will be a large group, and so we do ask that you mask as Stearns County is still in a very high rate of transmission. So thank you for that ahead of time. As you walk your way walk into the square, you're going to first come to the Welcome Center, and at the Welcome Center you're going to find a map. On this map it will be a picture of the sanctuary, and it will show you exactly where your family is to be seated. You see, each confirmation family has an entire pew to yourself. That's fantastic. You can fit approximately 14 people, maybe more, in that pew. And so if you have more family that you are inviting, that's fine. They just may not be able to sit with your immediate family, just so you know that. After you pick up your map of where your family is going to be seated during the service of confirmation, you will move further out into the square towards the sanctuary doors, and you will find a table with three things. One is a flower. And parents, if you can help your students put on that flower, that would be great in celebration of the day. The second thing is a confirmation certificate, which again acts as a kind of a nice keepsake for the celebration for this day. And the third thing is a small card. Now, this card is important because it has the student's name on it, as well as the blessing we will use for the service of confirmation. That card needs to be with the confirmation student. Confirmation students, do not lose this card. You need to keep it for a part of the service that's really important, and I'll explain that in just a second. After you have picked up your flower, your certificate, and this small card, and after the picture is taken at 10, you can find your seat inside the sanctuary. And again, the map will detail where that's at. We probably will even have them marked on the pews here. And so confirmation students, you're going to be seated on the outside or the inside. I guess it depends on how you look at this. But anyway, it's the spot closest to the center aisle. That is where you are going to sit, and your family is going to sit with you in this entire row. Again, no matter if you have 3 people attending or 15, we are still giving all of our confirmation students and their families an entire row to fill. And again, if there are more people coming than will fit in this row, they can sit anywhere else in the sanctuary because it will all be available because it's during our regular worship time. Okay, so we begin the service. You're all seated here, and there will be a point then during the service of confirmation where we ask students and their families to come forward for a blessing. The ushers will usher you forward, and this is how it's going to work. So the family that's being ushered forward first will get up. The student and his or her family will follow to one of 2 kneelers, which will be at the very, very front of the sanctuary here, and you will kneel down, and your family will surround you, and they will place their hands on you, and one of the pastors will offer a blessing for you. When that blessing is completed, the entire family with the student will get up and move to the side aisle, where they will then file back into their pew and go back to being seated. Now, this is where that card comes into play. When you come forward for the blessing, each student needs to give the pastor the card that they had received. That way, either Pastor Stephanie or myself will be able to see that card and then know exactly what we want to say, because we often need reminders, and that is okay. And that is the card that's going to help us do that. Again, after the blessing is over, you are seated again, where you will remain for the rest of the service until it is over. After the service is over, you are free to be with family and friends and take more pictures if you want, although you could do that ahead of time as well, and really just enjoy the day. So those are the logistics of the order of service for confirmation. Wow. Did I get all of it? Did you get all of that? Does it make sense? Don't forget that we're also streaming this service live. So if you have family or friends who cannot be physically here, they can join you remotely, and you'll see many places that we've already been communicating that link that you can share with them as well. As always, if you have questions or concerns, please give me a call. Otherwise, have a great week this week. I'm filming this during MEA week, so I'm hoping everybody's enjoying their time off. Look forward to seeing you again. Take care. God bless.